Hi everyone, Tony from Act Movies here, and today we're talking about Demon Night. This is when Tales from the Crypt went Hollywood, baby! Let's do it!
Lights, camera, screen!
Yeah! Today on Hack the Movies.
Tapes, we're talking about tapes.
Hello, Tim.
Tony, back at it again.
Back at it, and thank you for bringing the Crypt Keeper cutout.
Yes.
You know, those guys at Movie Dumpster think they're so cool with their cutout. But now we have one, and you said you were going to leave it here forever, and it's mine, and I'll never have to give it back. You said that off camera.
I do have two of them, Tim. I also have a Balto one, if you're interested in that.
Well, Balto, get the shit out of here. Get me Balto
Give me the
right
Balto.
now.
Bring in the Balto stat.
Bring in Balto. This is a Balto-only channel. Yes, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night. Tales from the Crypt, well, when I was in second grade.
Yes.
Was it second or first grade? It was first grade. I don't know. I was the Crypt Keeper for Halloween.
Oh,
once.
you
But,
legend.
Tales from the Crypt is something I always wanted to watch, but I didn't have like HBO in the early 90s. I was wondering how I even saw it, because I remember catching it here and there, but apparently they would play reruns on like Fox or something, but like late at night, I think.
Yeah.
Must Scream TV. Must Scream TV, Friday nights on Fox 2.
So I caught like a few growing up, and I always liked them, but I'm not very well versed in Tales from the Crypt. I watched a little bit in high school and college when my friends were getting those box sets.
The box set was huge, yeah.
I love the Arnold episode with William Hickey. That's a good one.
Yep.
That's a good one. But I did catch this movie when I was younger. My grandfather rented it. We put it on one day.
No way.
Yes.
That's awesome.
When did you first see Demon Night?
All right, so for me, I watched a ton of Tales from the Crypt as a kid.
Okay.
My neighbor would record them off TV all the time, and me and my neighbor April, we were entirely too young to be watching these, for sure. Super young, big boobs, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like probably my first boner was from watching Tales from the Crypt, like legitimately. But yeah, we saw Demon Night too because they were avid horror fans, and I love this movie.
It's good. It's a good
Love
time.
this movie.
It's a really, I liked it back then. I've liked it for years.
Still holds up.
I remember like when I had like premium cable, whenever it came on, I'm like, I gotta watch Demon Night. Because after all, I love Billy Zane.
You are a Billy Zane.
I'm a Zaniac.
Oh my God.
Of course. He was in the
He's
Phantom.
in Zane in the Membrane.
Yes, of course. I mean, this is not signed by Billy Zane. This is signed by Christy Swanson, the real
fake Buffy.
The real Buffy. The only Buffy I acknowledge in this house. But yeah, he's in that Marlon Brando biopic where he looks exactly like Marlon Brando. I want to check it out.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't think, when was this? The Phantom was 96,
It was
right?
after, right? Yeah.
Oh, 97, yeah. So this is after. So I wasn't like full on Zane yet. You know, I hadn't seen him slam evil yet.
You weren't going through your Zania or anything like that.
Yeah, before I saw him slam evil, I saw him be evil in Demon Night.
Yeah. So good.
So this movie has a very interesting backstory.
Oh.
It was not originally a Tales from the Crypt movie. In fact, it was written and people were trying to get it developed a few years before the Tales from the Crypt show even aired.
Holy shit.
Tom Holland, not Spider-Man, the director was going to direct this after Child's Play, but he ended up doing Fatal Beauty instead.
What a mistake.
I've never heard
What
of
the
Fatal
fuck is
Beauty.
Fatal Beauty?
Never heard of Fatal Beauty, but maybe it's good. I don't know. So yeah, he didn't end up directing it. It somehow made it to the writer of Pumpkinhead, who then sat on it.
Oh.
And then it made it to the lady who directed Pet Sematary.
Okay.
She really liked it. She made some changes to the script. And I guess she was going to do it after she did Pet Sematary 2.
Which isn't as bad as people make it out to be. I'm just saying. You're a Pet Sematary 2 hater? No Eddie Furlong?
Well, I don't know if I'm a hater, but let's just say no one wanted to give them money for this after Pet Sematary 2.
Oh, let me put it this way.
Yeah. So then Charles Band got a hold of it.
No.
And he just couldn't get a budget together for it. So then I was reading all this today. I have it here.
This is like, I had no idea of this lore.
Then it goes to Joel Silver, the producer.
Okay.
And he wanted it to be, so at this point, he is already planning a trilogy of Tales from the Crypt films.
Yes.
He wanted this one to be the second one.
Okay.
So then he takes them to like Universal. Universal reads the scripts and they were like, this one has more potential than the other two. So do this one first.
Okay.
Those two other ones never got made. Bordello Blood was not one of the other two. Yeah.
See, I thought Bordello was originally named something else, but I guess it was something
know
completely
from what I
different.
read, like Bordello was like its own thing.
Oh.
But yeah, I have it here. So I got this from the wiki. This is pretty funny. 2 versions of the scripts were created to solve budgetary problems. One with demons and one without.
What
The
fuck?
other version, the collector was a Bible salesman who was using a legion of fellow salesmen clad in black suits and sunglasses.
Oh.
And then at the end, it would reveal that they were demons.
That would have been so much worse.
Yes, a film called Demon Night with Demons that looked like killer yuppies made everyone nervous. So Universal threw some extra money at it so it could have demons throughout the film.
And then Men in Black was made 3 years later.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And then this was directed by Ernest Dickerson, who did Juice with Tupac. He also was cinematographer for like Spike Lee and a couple other guys. And he has a name drop later on in the film.
Does he?
Yeah, one of the former Demon Knights. I think he says the guy's name is
all right.
Dickerson. But yeah, let's get into this film.
Demon Night.
Demon Knight, yeah. We get the Tales from the Crypt opening from the show.
Legit, they use the full intro, I
Yep.
thought you watch it and you think there's going to be some sort of different reveal from the Crypt Keeper at the end. No, they went with the original intro.
Straight up.
Yep.
Also, yeah. So that's actually funny because this was not based on any of the EC Comics stuff.
Okay.
This original script. But yeah, it goes through, and that intro used to scare the shit out of me as a kid.
For some reason, when he would pop out at the end and do like the signature laugh scream, I would die laughing every time.
I remember when I first saw, and I loved the Crypt Keeper from whenever I did finally start to watch the episode.
Yeah.
But I still remember the first time because I think I turned the TV on not knowing what was playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this looks cool. And he jumped out and scared the shit out of me.
God, Tony. I remember I was introduced to him at such a young age because my dad was friends with our local like beer store because my dad used to drink a lot of Coors Light.
Yeah.
But ironically, there was a Bud Light Tales from the Crypt promo that my dad got. So if you've ever seen all the Bud Light Crypt Keeper stuff, we had the standee, the banners, the posters, the fold outs. So I worshipped the Crypt Keeper as a kid.
I actually met the Crypt Keeper years ago.
Yeah?
I just remember that at Chiller Theater in 2004.
Yeah.
I probably have the picture. I gotta hunt it down. He was really nice.
Yeah, on my old phone, he did my voicemail because he
Oh,
would
that's
do.
funny.
Oh man, it was so cool. I wish I still had that.
Yeah, so it opens up with that. We see a woman who's talking to a man on the phone, and she's bragging about how she just killed her husband.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So she's all covered in blood. She's like, I'm going to go get in the tub. And meanwhile, her husband is in a tub full of acid, dissolving.
And then all of a sudden you see a pair of bodacious bomb-like bonanzas that are just chilling.
A lot of fake boobs in this.
And like I said, dude, as a kid, you're seeing this, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, her husband comes back to life. And he sneaks into the bathroom. But before he kills her, the Crypt Keeper calls cut. And he does not he shows up. He's directing a movie. Okay. So I mentioned this in the Muppets Christmas Carol episode. So I mentioned that I don't like seeing Kermit walk. I don't like seeing his legs and seeing him walk.
I know what you're going to talk about.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'll take that over whatever the fuck they just did here.
Your new gory Cooper.
So they took
Stop motion?
They took a tiny. What I think it was is that they had the Crypt Keeper's head. I think it might be a green screen because his collar looks.
Yeah,
green.
it's like stop.
I don't think it's stop motion. I think they just had a green screen puppet and they mapped it to his head. I don't know if it was an early digital.
It looked
thing.
a little weird.
It looked weird. I get the idea of the effect. I feel like a few years later, it might have worked a little bit better.
It probably was nuts when it came out. But yeah, it looks like ass now.
But I every time I watch it, I'm like, I don't like seeing his legs. And same with the Muppets. I'm like, Nah, get that shit out of there. I don't want to see them walk.
Yeah.
It's unnatural. I need to see them from the waist up or nothing. I can't do it.
Especially when it cuts to like the next scene and he's normal again.
And then he looks normal. Yeah, then he looks totally normal and
Yeah.
he's moving like a puppet.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm like, don't do that. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Also, did you notice the husband
It's
was
John Larroquette.
yeah, aka the fucking villain from Richie Rich.
Yes. And he's from the original Night Court.
Yes.
And the new Night Court, because he's one of the only people who's not dead from the
and
original
probably
Night
going to
Court.
be in another Night Court.
He also famously is the voiceover guy from the original Nightmare. Wrong. The voiceover guy from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I did not know that.
And then they brought him back for that new Texas Chainsaw Massacre for some
Which
reason.
one? The Netflix one?
Yeah, the Netflix one.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't care about that.
Yeah. Anyway, I like that he's criticizing John Larroquette's acting.
Yeah, I do.
And I just love that the Crypt Keeper just got a job directing in Hollywood.
And he's crushing.
And I love that he's just like, where they dig this guy up.
So good.
But yeah, then he looks at the screen. He's like, oh, hello, kiddies. I'm working on my new movie,
Yeah.
but I got a story for you. And his newest story is
Demon Night.
I love the Crypt Keeper puppet.
So do I.
So
I love
good.
him. He looks great. He looks great when he's not green.
When he's
screen.
not like
Yeah.
awkwardly, I would have looked at that and been like, do it again.
With those
Don't do
legs?
that. Don't do.
Oh.
I'm like, no, we don't want to see him walk.
floppy ass legs.
Although I do like his outfit. His director
He looks
outfit's
great.
really good.
He looks great.
So we cut to William Sadler. Don't worry, I will have all their names in a minute. But
Legendary William Sadler.
William Sadler, who I know mostly from Die Hard 2. He's Colonel Stewart in Die Hard 2.
Which I know him from Rocket Man. Which please let's do a Patreon Rocket Man.
You know what's funny?
please.
I remember liking that movie as a kid. I had friends who apparently watched it like a few years ago, and they were like, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Your friends are wrong.
We'll find out.
We'll find
out.
Stay tuned.
So yeah, he's driving all around, really, really nervous, and he's being chased by Billy Zane. And then I forgot to write the band's name down, but Hey Man, Nice Shot plays,
All right.
which is a big thing in the 90s. I feel like it played in a bunch of movies. The one I'm thinking of is Cable Guy. It plays during the
Oh, it
basketball
does.
scene.
Also, side note, the soundtrack to this movie is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
I didn't make note of the other songs, but
So good. Especially like the hip hop track in this when like we'll get to it, the scene, but yeah, there's a hip hop track in this that's fantastic.
yeah. So Sadler just opens fire on the car. He blows up the dude's engine.
Yes.
He gets out of the car and they both explode.
He pops out.
And then he looks at his hand and he's got these star tattoos on his hand, and one of them shifts over a little bit.
Yep.
Which is, I guess, is a sign. We will learn what that is. At the moment, we don't know what it is. So he makes it to like what is it, like a diner or mechanics thing? I think it might be a diner.
Yes, a diner.
Yeah, wherever he is, he's trying to steal a
Steal a
car.
car
And
with
I
a
like,
knife. Yeah, yeah.
I love the kid finds him.
Yeah.
He's like, "You trying to steal?" I was like, "No, I'm just checking the lock."
Yo, classic. Nice one.
How good it works. It works pretty good. And the kid's not an idiot. He's like, "Dad, someone's trying to steal your car."
And he's out.
And we also get to see Thomas Hayden Church.
Yes.
Early Thomas Hayden Church. I don't know if he was doing Wings at the time.
Wings on Wings, man.
I never watched Wings. But
Well,
I know that's a show he was in.
Wings is a mom show.
Yeah, it
Big
seems
time.
like it. But he's also the villain in one of the top 10 Hack the Movies episodes.
Tell me, I'm dying to know.
Spider-Man 3. Did you forget he was Sandman?
Shout out Retro Release Video. Our boy,
Yeah.
our friend, literally just got a personalized license plate that says Spider-Man 3 front and back. I swear.
Years ago, my friend took a picture of someone's license plate that said that.
Really?
Yeah. And he went, of all the movies
You picked. So good.
he got to redeem himself in Spider-Man No Way Home when he came back, but for some reason, Sandman, who can turn into a human form, stayed in sand form.
I don't get that.
Oh, you don't get it?
I don't get it, Tony. Tell me why.
It's because they shot it during COVID, and he did all his voiceover.
Fucking Hollywood.
Same thing with the lizard. They weren't on set. They just did voiceover. It is funny when you watch Spider-Man 3 No Way Home. It's like, no, but he can look like a human. He's like, nope, just gonna stay in sand form.
We just gotta rock this sand. We gotta rock sand for him for a little bit.
And then when they turn him into a human at the end, it's just recycled footage from 3, just reversed.
Dude.
COVID
Lazy.
movie. It's gonna be real fun to look back at COVID movies and be like,
Oh.
wow. I'm like, that looked rough. They did a lot of last
We
minute.
shot this work from home. We shot this from home. So bad.
Anyway, so the two sheriffs show up.
Yeah.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Such a trope in the 90s.
I know, like the bumbling sheriff.
Yep.
They would fit in with the arachnophobia.
I knew you were going to say it. Or next it was going to be.
Oh, the hell of a thing.
No matter what, it always gets brought up in every episode we do.
Hell of a thing. But yeah, they start investigating. I like Billy Zane just shows up at the cowboy thing. He's like, "Oh, this is my car." Yeah, I guess
So casual. Billy Zane's performance in this,
he's incredible.
incredible.
Billy Zane is a great actor.
He's amazing.
I don't know why he ended up being in some schlocky stuff later on, but he is a great actor.
It reminds me of Pamela Springsteen in Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. Just like the whole
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy, but I'm actually the worst. Like the most evil bastard you've ever met. He's just so good at
I love Zane. He was also great in Twin Peaks season 2.
Yes.
He's like one of the bright spots in season 2. But he shows up. He's like, "Yeah, I'm chasing a thief. He stole something. That's my car. It blew up." And they're like, "How did two people walk away from this?" He's like,
airbags.
And I love the running thing where the cop keeps putting a flashlight. He's like, "Can you not put the flashlight in my face?"
Now, we stand here arguing about a traffic accident. Do you mind?
Oh, I forgot to mention, when William Sadler ran away, he ran into Dick Miller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Legendary
Dick Miller, who's just like a drunk bum.
In everything that he plays. He was drunk in Gremlins. He was drunk in everything, dude. I love him.
He's in a bunch of old Roger Corman movies. What was
Yeah.
the one we did years ago on Cinemassacre? We watched The Terror with Boris Karloff,
I know what
Jack
that is.
Nicholson,
Yeah.
and Dick Miller. The movie that has no plot because I don't know if you know the backstory of that one.
I don't.
They literally had a castle set from a previous movie, and they're like, "Well, while we're tearing it down, let's film a different movie."
Let's just reuse this real quick.
So there's a scene that's when I think of Dick Miller now, my mind goes here. There's a scene where like Dick Miller and Jack Nicholson are having a conversation in front of a bush because at that point there were no more sets. So they're like, "Do this all in close
Just go stand next to this bush real quick. Damn recycled ass sets.
Most people know Dick Miller on this channel. You probably know him if you're our age from Gremlins.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love him. Chopping Mall.
Yep. Janitor and Chopping Mall gets electrocuted. So good.
But yeah, he tells him about a hotel that Sadler can stay at. Then we meet Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm sorry, Jada Pinkett at the time.
Yep.
And when we meet
Before
her,
she got smithed.
when we meet her, she's entangled with like an oven or something that she's cleaning. She works for CCH Pounder, who I always love seeing in the movie. She plays Irene.
Yep.
Let's just get the names out of the way. Okay, so William Sadler is Frank Breaker. Jada Pinkett is Geraldine or Geraldine. I feel like they go back and forth.
Yeah.
Thomas Hayden Church is Roach. CCH Pounder is Irene. Brenda Bach is Cordelia. Dick Miller is Uncle Willie.
Yep.
Then there's Deputy Bob, Gary Farmer's Deputy Bob. Little Kid's Danny. Charles Fleischer is Wally from Roger Rabbit. Who I scared in an elevator, I guess, at Astronomicon.
Did you go boo?
No, I didn't do anything. He's very tiny and he's like kind of hunched over now.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was. But I was at Astronomicon and I got in the elevator and he looked real nervous next to me. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is this old guy's fucking problem? Why
Yeah.
is he giving me like the eye? And then like later on, I was looking at like the little pamphlet of like all the actors, like, oh, that was Roger Rabbit. Like, oh, he probably thought I was going to ask him like a million questions.
Yeah. And you're like, no, I don't give a shit.
And I was just like, no, I mean, I would have said hi. I wouldn't have bothered him. But I'm like, he looks so nervous. Like, oh, he's probably like, oh shit, I got in the elevator with a nerd. He's going to ask me all these questions. But he's Wally, and then there's Sheriff Trooper, and the other characters are just the ones from the other segments. So there we go. We have all their names now.
There we go.
I will refer to them as their character names.
Ran through it.
Lately, I've just been using actor names.
Yeah.
So Wally, Charles Fleischer, is very sad. He lost his job at the post office.
Poor guy.
They said he wasn't doing a good job, but he swears he was. And he's venting to Cordelia, who feels bad for him. But yeah, it's like they ripped his name tag off and everything.
It's like, what did he do? I mean, he was like, the package said fragile. And I was just too rough with it. You know, like what do? You didn't deliver.
Well, we also find out what he was really doing later on.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, we'll have to revisit that.
But yeah, I like that Cordelia wants her sheets clean and Geraldine won't get them for her, so Wally volunteers. Right. And then Cordelia was like talking to Irene. She's like, should I throw Wally a freebie? Because Cordelia is a lady of the evening.
Right, she is.
She's like, should I throw him a freebie? And I like Irene. Irene's got some great one-liners.
She does. She's sharp.
What does she say? She's like, oh, that's what he needs. Someone else to screw.
And is this pre when she makes the joke? What is it?
The pussy on the table?
No,
that's coming. That's coming.
I love
that. So I like when the cops are driving in the car and Zane is just being very suspicious. Like he's just not giving them enough information. Right. He's like, he just stole like an antique. And
so casual.
Collector. They get the thing on the phone or the radio about how someone tried to steal a car. Cordelia tries to make a move on Breaker. And then this is when we get, because someone has a cat on the table, Geraldine's cat. Yeah. Cordelia's on the table and Irene's like, get
that pussy off the table. I meant the cat.
Get that pussy off the table. And Cordelia jumps up. She's like, I meant
the cat. So good. I laughed. Yeah, that was great. So
we also learned that Geraldine is on work release. So she got in trouble with the law, and this is like part of her job. Yeah. And then Thomas Hayden Church shows up as Roach. And when he's not working at the diner, he's like a cool guy. He's got a leather jacket.
Getting paid minimum wage.
He's getting paid minimum wage.
But can afford that leather jacket and being an asshole for sure.
Yeah, somehow he's able to afford the leather jacket and afford Cordelia's time.
Right?
Because he's like, all right, lady, let's get up there.
Oh, God, this is the infamous scene, too.
Yes.
I love.
And then, like, it cuts back. The chandelier's just shaking. And they're all just downstairs, like, uncomfortably listening to them bang. But then the sheriffs arrive with Zane. Well, I'm going to keep calling Zane because his name is Collector. He's Zane. And what's it called? Breaker is just like, oh, no, he found me.
Yeah.
He found me. Oh, I forgot to mention, when he got to the hotel, the stars are now in a perfect circle. And he's like, this is the place.
This is it.
This is where I got to be. So he holds Geraldine hostage. And he's like, I'll kill her. And everyone's freaking out. And Zane's like, no, he won't.
He's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it. And he totally calls his bluff. He's like, shit. But whatever Zane is looking for isn't on Breaker, which means it's hidden in the house. This item.
They start searching.
They start searching the house.
This is the best.
And they don't find the key. What does the one cop find in Roach's room?
So when they go in, he so happens to see a battery hooked up to some wires. And those wires are pinched onto Roach's nipples. As he's imagine first of all, you're walking in on like somebody banging, that's one thing. You're walking in on somebody banging with a car battery with some jumper cables hooked up to your nips. I can't even describe how I would.
Feeling. There's so many ways that can go wrong. I would never.
He literally drops the line, "My nipples are smoking." Like, dude.
Ladies, if a guy asks you to do this, please don't. You might accidentally kill him.
We don't want it. We don't want it.
No. Well, I mean, sure there is some guy out there who wants it. Don't trust that guy. You're probably going to mess it up. Guys, if a girl suggests doing this to spice things up, don't do it. She is going to kill you. She's going to electrocute you.
I don't want my nipples smoking. I don't want my car battery out of my car. I don't want any of this. I'm good. Christ.
Oh my God. So yeah, they get interrupted. I like that she cranks it up too high. Yeah, exactly. She's like, ah! So they get pulled downstairs. They learn that Breaker is not even really Breaker. The real Breaker died 5 years prior.
Right.
But he refused to tell him where this key is. Mm-hmm. It's this ancient key. And then fucking Uncle Willie just rats Breaker out.
Oh yeah, I saw him stash it. Fuck you, Willie.
Like right under the table. It's
what like, the hell?
Could you not, man? Like, what are you doing? So yeah, he brings Zane the key, but Zane wants Willie to pour the blood out. Yep. I like that he's like, oh, it seems like he put
some. Like, you dump that out. He put some weird stuff in there. Or something.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you dump it out? Yeah, just dump that out. Because he's afraid to touch it.
All right.
We'll learn whose blood this is. It's very important. So yeah, but they also checked Zane's car, and they were like, "Oh, you're wanted for stealing too.
They're
We're bringing you both in."
We're gonna take you downtown and figure this out.
Yeah, and then Zane's just like, "All right, well, I've had enough." Punches a hole through the guy's head,
through the mouth, dude.
Why wait?
I bet you the theater was like, like everyone was probably going nuts. This kill, amazing, one of the best of the '90s.
And I've seen some good hole punching, head hole punching scenes. Like End of Days has a good one, but this one's great. This actually, so when I was doing the Spawn review, I went back and I bought a bunch of like Spawn spin-off comics, the Violator comics. There's this running gag where he like punches a hole through someone's head and decapitates it like this. Yeah. But the joke is, for like most of the comic, he has this guy's head. The clown has the guy's head on his arm.
That's amazing.
Because he can't transform into Violator in the comics, so he's just walking around with his head. But I like that Billy. I wonder which one came first. But yeah, Billy Zane is just trying to get the head, and he does the whole heads up. He's a jokester, man. He is so good.
He's amazing in this.
He tries to kill Breaker. Breaker burns him with the key, and he jumps out the window. And then he like drops the Cowboy Act.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Fuck it.
Like this Cowboy Act, and he does the whole accent and starts dancing.
Dude, he is so good.
He's so charismatic.
His personality,
so awesome.
The comedy, like.
And then he spills his blood on the ground, and he brings little baby demons to life.
Which is an awesome transformation.
Yeah.
Coming out. Practical effects in this movie are amazing.
Dude, they look great. The puppets look great. They're all slimy. You can see them like grow. They have glowing green eyes. They look really cool. The only thing I don't like about these demons are the legs.
I'm fine.
They try to give them that like, you know, like animal leg.
The chicken leg thing,
Yeah, but they're not walking how they should because they physically can't. So they just look awkward walking. That's another thing. I'm like, don't show me their legs. Just it looks weird.
Tony's got some leg problems, some leg trauma. Please, guys,
because we know that's not how like birds and stuff walk. So when you see a guy on stilts walk, I'm like,
I suppose I'll throw you that one.
It looks odd when they do like the full shot of them walking. I'm like, oh, that looks rough.
Yeah,
everything else looks great except for that. When they first started rolling, they should have went, all right, we got to rethink this. They're
like, guys, the legs.
The legs
I need some new legs in here.
They're like, it's too late. We made all the legs.
We're out of money.
We spent all our money green screening the Crypt Keeper's head onto a small guy. We have nothing left.
We got nothing left.
But they look cool as hell.
They do.
I really like the look of the demons in this. Thank God Universal gave them extra money for demons.
So much better than just dudes in black suits.
Yeah. So every time they jump in and just start attacking. So when they get shot, the only way you can kind of kill them, I think there's several ways, but like shooting them in the eyes, which I'm not a fan of. Which also like
you're gonna Halloween 2 their ass.
Yeah. You shoot them in the eyes, but when they get shot, they like explode, like all the green spawn energy shoots out.
They launch the spawn energy. You can still get hurt even when you kill them. Like,
So fire and everything shooting everywhere. But then Sadler drops a bit of blood from the key on a doorway, and it makes a shield,
a force field, a demon force field,
which I thought that was cool as hell.
Cool shit.
Wally tries to be a hero. And he shoots the demons in the eye, and he gets zapped by them. I love when they get back in the house. This is a great moment. They get back in the house, and Zane is outside the door. He's like, "Hey, can I just really have that key?"
Yeah.
Like, I love when he like gets super casual.
Same.
He's like, "Come on, can you just help a brother out?
Can you just let me in?"
Yeah, can you just let me in, give me that key? It really mean a lot to me. But yeah, Breaker is going around securing the key. And then I remember the first time I saw this, like even as a kid, and actually when I rewatched it later on in life, I was just like, oh, I forgot Jesus makes an appearance in this.
Dude,
movie.
The religious aspect of this movie is a little random and weird, but Jesus is in this.
He gets memories of, I guess, whoever the original Demon Knight is, who was there when Jesus died, and like a demon wants the key from him. We don't get to see the end of that flashback, I think, until later. Then he chats with Geraldine, and she's just like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm an old man, and I'm just very tired." Yeah, which I relate to.
Like, yeah, you do, don't you? I think he took a couple of extra strength Benadryls, during this.
Okay, yeah. So behind the scenes, yesterday, my cat decided to just wake me up, Space Cat.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, it's 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You wake up now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, actually, I can wake up whenever I want. And
You
I
don't
don't
tell me
have to
what
wake
to
up now. So last night I was like, oh, I worked all day. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just take a couple Benadryl to help me go to sleep, forgetting that I bought extra strength Benadryl.
Actually, I looked at the box. It's the 3, like the extra strength.
Do you want to know why I bought extra strength Benadryl real quick?
Tell me why.
Remember the Grinch thing I wore in our episode?
Tell me you were allergic to
Okay,
the
no. For that episode, when I just wore it for like an hour or so, totally fine. On Christmas Eve, I live streamed wearing it for 4 hours.
Dude, what happened?
Me sweating in it mixed with something all of Christmas Day, my eyes were on fire.
Dude, swollen Grinch
So that I
eyes?
bought like the extra strength bed. I'm like, I'm having some kind of reaction. But, so last night I forgot and I had extra strength. I woke up at 1 p.m. today. I don't know how I'm doing this right now.
The Grinch's eyes grew 3 times that day.
I literally have no idea how I'm doing this episode.
We're doing it. He's
Am
on
I
demon
doing
time.
a good job, Tim? Because I feel like death.
Dude, you're on demon mode. We're good. We're back.
I suffer. For your entertainment, I suffer.
Love it.
Blood red eyes, lack of sleep.
All right. He's a mean one.
There's an episode coming out in February.
Oh.
That's like right after that girl broke things off with me and I'm super hungover. I suffer for all of you.
Ooh.
That's something fun to look out for. The Black Dynamite episode. I am so hungover in that episode.
That's appropriate.
It was pretty bad.
It was good.
No, the episode's great.
Yeah.
But like there was a point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to film today.
You're like, ugh. During filming. You're
So back to
yakking.
Demon Night.
Demon Night.
I hope you enjoy these behind the scenes looks.
This is what happens when I come on, guys.
So Cordelia's having enough of Roach's shit
Yeah.
and starting to like Wally a little bit more. He is nicer.
And it's one of those things too where like they set up that you think William Sadler's the dick until he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they cover up the dead body of the sheriff. They like put his head on his belly and put a blanket over it. And then Geraldine's cat returns and Breaker starts freaking out. It's like, no, they can be demons.
Give me that cat.
Give me that cat. Give me that cat.
Yeah.
So they have to hunt down this cat to make sure it's not a demon possessed cat. Then Roach and Wally argue in front of a window. And Roach is like, hey, I want to steal the key and leave. And Cordelia gives him shit and he starts slapping Cordelia around.
Which we don't love.
He's not a nice guy, this Roach. Douchebag stuff like this is why Sam Raimi was like, that's my Sandman. He's a good villain.
He's a good douche. Prime douche. Great douche. Great A douche.
So yeah, they go into the basement and they're looking for the cat. They find it and they has to put the key on everything to make sure it's not a demon. Luckily, the cat is not a demon.
Don't worry. The cat is okay.
The cat is fine. Unlike my fucking demon cat who wakes me
Yeah,
up
at
when I
7
don't have
a.m.
to wake up. I can't. Why doesn't she let me sleep?
You know what? How about we reverse it? We'll give the cat some Benadryl. No.
Oh, the one day she woke me up super early, I went downstairs and she's like napping and I'm like, all right, I'm going to run the Roomba. Your best friend, she
Yeah.
hated it. I'm like,
How do
yeah,
you
you're-
like it?
Or no, actually my nieces came over and she doesn't like them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey girls, do you want to see Space Cat? And I'm like, let's open up the door. There she is. It's like looking
Then it's
complete.
straight-
I'm like,
straight
do you
attack.
like it?
So good.
Do I have an unhealthy relationship?
Sorry, you guys just go at it a little bit, but that's normal, right?
Just a reminder. It's not supposed to be my cat. My sister sandbagged me with it.
You got sandbag with the cat.
You think I want to own this cat? Like, what the hell, Tim? No, I never wanted to own this cat, and yet here I am. So if a demon were to come and be like, I'm taking your cat, I'm like, out of the house?
Oh no. I'm so upset.
No, don't take my cat to hell. Dar.
Love it.
She's fine. Anyway,
We love animals.
we love animals. Not that one, in general. Oh, so while they're investigating the basement, they find out that there's a breeze coming back from behind one of the walls.
Oh, right.
While this is happening, Zane tempts Cordelia, and he's laying on the charm.
big time.
He could psychically talk to you. He's
Yeah.
like, no one respects you. I would respect you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would love you. And she like goes outside. He looks like he's in like a cologne ad or something with like the bright spotlight.
yeah,
He's backlit.
he's got some like Calvin Klein Spritz and
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like one of the, like a 90s Calvin Klein, whatever. I love the effect where his hand goes up and his thumb moves and then the tear on her head.
Yeah.
That is a
was
really
cool.
good effect.
That was cool.
That was actually pretty. I mean, they probably had like a fan or something blowing it, but like the
Still
fact that they
good.
thought to do that
It's the
back
little
then.
things, man.
Yes. It was a really, really good effect. I really liked it. So yeah, he's just letting her, like how demons do. They tempt you with what you want, gaslighting her, manipulating her. All she has to do is let him in. And then as soon as she does, Wally shows up. She's like, hey, Wally, I'm super into you.
And then Wally's hyped.
Wally is like, this is all he wants. This is all he wants. Back in the basement, they find out that the breeze belongs to a tunnel. And they're like, yeah, there's a bunch of old mine shafts here.
Right?
So they're talking about the mines. They're like, we can get out of here. And he doesn't trust it, Breaker.
No, he's not. He's not. He's against the mines.
He's like, no, I don't know. There could be demons
down
already
there,
in there. How do we know that they don't know about it? We don't trust it. Everyone's like, fuck you, man.
Roach, I'm going. If we want to go in the fucking mines, we're gonna go in the mines. I think I've had about enough of listening to you. the infamous line.
You sound just like Thomas Hayden Church. You should be the Sandman.
I'm about to go into sand mode in 3, 2.
So they hear a commotion. They go upstairs. Rest in peace, Wally.
Sorry, Wally.
Demon Cordelia killed Wally.
Killed the shit out of him.
He is super dead. And she starts attacking Breaker and they're trying to like rescue him. I like that they drop the key and it makes a force field all over the top stairs. So the demons can't come upstairs anymore. Irene tries to help.
Dude, when I first saw this, I was like, holy shit. Like, you're just not ready for this.
Yeah. You're not ready for a woman's arm to just get ripped off.
And she's fucking spewing. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, it was like brutal.
I don't know how she's even alive for the rest of the movie.
I'm like, would they put a scarf around it? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and she's just like, oh, really, ma'am? I'm like, I would just be screaming constantly.
she's like, give me the vodka.
So yeah, they eventually free Breaker from Cordelia. I think they shoot her in the eyes because that's the way to kill them, is to shoot their eyes. So she's dead. Downstairs, they break down the walls to the mines. And then Breaker gets more Jesus flashbacks.
How did you feel about like the religious aspect and the Jesus?
I didn't mind it if they're doing demons and stuff.
Made sense to you?
Yeah, it made sense to me.
I thought. I mean, we'll get into it a little later once he explains how this whole thing went down. But
I
think
think it would have been more fine hearing about it. I don't think I needed to see literally
crucifixion.
I don't think I needed to see a demon next to Jesus
with like literally
going like I'm like, I don't know. Seems a little disrespectful, but okay.
I mean, I'm not a religious guy, but I just thought it was a little like.
Oh, this movie converted me.
You're like, actually, after I saw Demon Night,
After I saw
church every Sunday, confession every Wednesday. No
I was
doubt.
in Catholic school when I saw this. So I was just like, I didn't hear about that. Why did they leave that part out?
You're looking in the Bible. Wait, where
was
is it?
the little rat demon who made a deal with the?
You're like, wait, the Book of Zane. No.
Yeah. So the demon like reached out for the key, but then Jesus's blood spilled on him and burns him. They enter the mine. He seals the entrance. And they find the little boy from earlier, little Danny. And what's he doing down there? He's hiding from his parents, who turned into demons.
Right.
I don't know why Zane drove all the way back to turn them into.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, wait, when did that happen?
I guess he had time. After he possessed Cordelia, he's like, all right, I'm going to run out and make those guys demons.
He's like, trust me, I got spare time.
So yeah, they're attacked. They make it through the portal. And fucking Roach totally ruins it. They can't come in.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
There was no reason for that.
Well, he says why he did it.
This is for 4 years of minimum wage, you asshole.
This is for 4 years of minimum wage.
Oh, right, for minimum wage. You're right. He drops the minimum wage line and fucking blows it.
He shoots their head, but it blows up and it breaks the seal. They're like,
field.
oh no!
Dude, I love you never break the seal. I was just thinking to myself, yeah, you don't.
I am famous for drinking and breaking the seal too early.
Tony, you never break the seal. You never break the seal.
I can't do it. I'm like, I have to pee. I have to pee.
We're getting older. I can't hold it.
I used to not pee during movies. Now I'm like, yeah, I can kind of guess what's happening.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do that, and then I missed the zombie baboon scene from Gladiator 2.
No spoilers.
Well, it was in the trailer.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Yeah. Well, I was really excited to see that scene, and then I just really had to pee. And when I came back,
I saw this.
When I came back, it was over. I'm like, oh, that scene looked pretty cool. I guess.
Much for that. So much for the zombie baboon scene.
Same thing with bars. I have one drink, and I'm like, I gotta pee. And it, like, I go to the bathroom so much, I'm like, they all think I'm doing coke. I know they all think I'm doing coke.
That's it. He's like, I got the slick back. I got the cocaine. I have to break the seal.
Because there are places I go where people are doing that. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to be grouped in. I'm like, trust me, I'm just peeing. I'm an old
promise.
man. I'm an old man of 24. I'm just
Tony,
really...
wait, I thought you were 23.
Well,
you know what's funnier than 23?
What?
24.
Okay, so the seal's broken. They're all attacking. Danny tells them, he's like, yeah, Zane came back and turned my parents into zombies. They do the demon test on him. He's like, yeah, that's really nice. Real quick, I'm just put this thing on your head. They're like, come on. He's like, I have to be sure.
You gotta check. Double tap.
And then Breaker gives a little bit of his flashback, his personal flashback to a war. I don't know if it was World War I or II.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the world wars. And a fellow soldier is dying next to him, and he pours his blood into the key and passes it to Breaker, which gives him this man's memories and previous Demon Knight's memories, and this is how you become a Demon Knight.
Yep, that's it.
Similar to Buffy. How, like, when one dies, another one has to take over, which we all saw in the Christy Swanson classic, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We never watched any of the other ones.
Moving on.
So yeah, then he gives the backstory on the keys.
Right.
This is some deep lore.
That's what I'm saying. They went in on trying to.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show backstories to this. This is all stuff they could. I know they say show don't tell, but you can just tell sometimes.
Yeah.
But this one, they're like, all right, this would be too expensive. We're not doing this. We learned that before the universe, it was just darkness and demons were there, and then God spread His light. And it scattered the keys of darkness around the universe.
Makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
And the demons are upset because now they have to hunt for all of these keys to put out God's light. And they found 6 of them in the universe. That means there's different demon knights all over the universe. Alien demon knights.
But there's one left, Tony.
Yes. And that's the one on Earth that they're with right now. And he tells them that it's Christ's blood, but you can refill it. And it like transforms.
Just regenerates.
By the way, the whole Christ blood fighting demon stuff, it was used in the Nun. You watch the Nun, the Conjuring spinoff?
Oh yeah, no.
It was very Demon Knight with this. There is an
like
artifact. Yeah, there's an artifact with Jesus's blood that they use to like expel the Nun. I'm like, that's from Demon Knight.
You're like, wait a minute.
The Nun movies are good.
Okay.
I don't really care for the Conjuring films.
I like the Conjuring movies.
The second one's okay.
Okay.
And we have a whole episode on what is the best Conjuring.
Do you now?
Yes. I actually like the spin-offs more. Like, I like not the first Annabelle, but like the second and third ones.
I like the Annabelle movies.
The Annabelle movies are fine. La Llorona was fine. I really dug the Nuns, though. Nun 1 and 2 are really, really good. I recommend them. I think you'd like them. If you like The Conjuring and you like Conjuring 2,
writing that down.
Definitely check out The Nun. Roach apologizes to Breaker. And
Breaker 19. This is a big sorry from Roach.
And you think, he's going to like redeem himself and this will be his about face moment. No, he's up to some shenanigans.
Fuck Roach.
He's up to shenanigans.
I don't like him.
Zane tempts Geraldine, who was looking for Danny. And I like that he's like, oh, you're stuck here. You want to see the world. I could show you the world, but I don't know if you noticed.
Wait, is this the scene with the portrait of her?
Yes.
Dude, this is when they drop the hip-hop song from the soundtrack that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the sheet with her
The
portrait
sheet
on
is
it?
awesome with the hands and stuff. But the 2 pictures, I think, like, it's one of her in France or Rome or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's the exact same picture of her in both. It looks like he just copy and pasted
it. It's that budget, man.
She's like, and I like this moment where he's like, yeah, don't trust Breaker. He's going to die. And then the sheet falls and like the demons are like eating him.
That was a good shot.
Yeah, and he tells her, he's like, I want to keep you pretty forever. But of course, she doesn't trust him. She
No.
turns him down. Then they find Willie drinking in the attic with the kid who's reading a Tales from the Crypt comic.
Whoa! Yes, and well, we'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. in a
We
sec.
know we'll find out what comic he's reading later on.
Exactly. No spoilers.
Sort of breaks the universe, but
Yeah.
we'll find out. So yeah, Willie is walking around and he wanders into a party with a bunch of naked girls.
Dude, this was the scene as a kid that I was literally like, holy shit.
You think Dick
Holy
Miller,
shit.
You think Dick Miller read that and went, yeah, I'll do this movie.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in.
I'm in. Get me
in.
there. Get me
Literally
in there.
surrounded by 40 women with the biggest fake boobs ever.
And I love that it's in his mind, so it'll cut to Danny being like, Willie, what are you doing?
He's like, he's just like in the air, like,
And then I love Zane in this.
Suck this one down, Uncle Willie.
yes.
As the bartender's
Yes.
like, huh, why don't you suck this one
Yeah,
down, Uncle
yeah.
Willie?
So
You
good.
get fucked up.
He is so good in this. I know I'm going to be annoying, but he is
Those,
so
like,
good.
That visor that you
Yeah.
always see bookies wearing. And
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone wear those visors.
Can we get those visors?
We should get those
Let's
outside
get
of.
those- somebody send us some visors
I've only ever seen like bookies in movies
with like little
or people
with
playing
little tiny
cards.
cigarettes.
Yeah, that's gonna be our thing, Tim.
Let's
We're
rock
gonna
the
hang out
visors.
at bars with our visors
Yeah.
and cigarettes, even though I don't smoke.
Let's just get the we'll just throw one in.
Yeah, and then I'll pee in the bathroom. You'll tell everyone I'm doing coke, so they think I'm a cool guy.
Secretly, you're just peeing.
So yeah, Willie accepts the drink.
He accepts it.
And he is now possessed. So I love they find Wally's stuff in the attic.
Yeah.
They find a big bag. He was stealing mail.
Isn't that fucked
He was
up?
stealing all their
The whole
mail.
time.
And
And
they're
I-
like, he did deserve to be fired.
And I forgot about that, like
Yeah.
when we first started talking about it. And then I'm like, oh right, the bag full of
is-
stolen birthday cards.
I really need to look in the whole going postal thing because it was something you heard a lot up
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
You always heard
Holy
about
shit,
the
you're right.
postal stuff. Going postal was
Yeah.
like always a thing. Even Seinfeld made a
Yeah.
joke about it. Why do they go crazy? Because the mail never stops.
stops. It never stops.
But yeah, and I love they're like, hey, what's in Willie's chest here? And it's like, oh my god, he had a bunch of guns. We find out it's so dark. We find out he was gonna go back to the post office, go postal, and he was gonna do it all for Cordelia, and he left her a love letter.
Isn't that fucked up, dude? Cordelia had everybody wrapped around her finger.
She
man.
really did.
It's crazy. And like, what? You know what I was thinking, dude? What was life like before tracking?
Before what?
Like tracking for mail, right?
yeah.
Dude? It could probably everybody would go postal. I'm sure.
Probably.
You can track
Probably.
that shit.
I mean, these days you can still track and it'll just get lost.
Okay, yeah, true.
What was it last
Deal with
year?
that constantly.
Last year, those shelves over there,
yeah.
we were shooting the Home Alone episode.
Okay.
And I was tracking these shelves. They were coming late. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I'm like, okay, it says it's there. It says it's there. It like said it was like by the post office by my house. And then I get the delivery and it's like delivered to Texas. And I went, what? How the fuck did it? And I realized like Amazon just like, I guess they just like estimated where it would be. And it was just letting me know where they think it was. But when it was finally delivered, it somehow made it to Texas.
Dude, I hate when that shit happens.
And I'm like, yeah, I want a refund because it said it was 10 minutes away and then it was in Texas. Because people like Willie are working there, screw it up.
Going postal. Sending
Wally.
Things,
Wally.
Wally. Sending things to Tulsa.
But yeah, so he had a bunch of guns, but no bullets.
Right.
But luckily he had a bunch of grenades.
Perfect. And what do we do with these grenades?
We're going to find out what we do with them. They come in handy. But that's such like a dark element because he was very sympathetic before that.
Then all of a sudden-
and you're like, oh my God, he was a mod. Like, why did Zane not tempt him? And then he get his arsenal.
You're right, though. What a flip. What a flip of the script. For,
I
for our
know.
boy.
It reminds me of what was it? Steve Buscemi. Was it Billy Madison where we find out he has a hit list and he like takes him off the
I'm
list?
glad I called that guy.
Okay, so then Breaker fights the possessed Willie. And while they're fighting, Zane tempts Irene with giving her arm back. And he has
Yep.
it on a platter.
I love that.
I love when she raises her stump. And he's
Yeah.
like, what's that? She's like, I'm giving you the finger.
yeah.
First,
She's so good.
I had a false memory where the hand on the plate gives him the finger.
Whoa. That's just your creative script mind coming
I
out,
must have
Tony.
seen something else that did that. I'm like, why did I remember that happening there? It doesn't.
I love that. That should have happened.
It should have happened. It should have cut down to the plate. The finger was there. So Geraldine is like struggling to stab Willie because, you know, it's classic like, oh, you're still in there. But it's like, no, they're demon.
Oh, yeah, when he gives him the fake out, right?
Yeah. And Breaker can't protect himself because that fucker Roach stole the key to make a deal with Zane.
I want to cut a deal.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Roach.
Also, he heard what happens when they get the key. Like, all life ends. Like,
Roach.
I don't understand the deal. Like, I don't want to die tonight. Let me give you the key so everything dies and I will still.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Roach's, like, his nipples weren't the only thing that was fried, clearly. You know what I'm saying? Like, not making rational decisions here.
We also find out the demons also have nipple rings and just rings.
Yeah, like random, like, septums and nip rings and stuff. It was the 90s, dude.
So, yeah, Breaker is able to decapitate Willie, but his eyes are still intact.
Yep.
So they have to, like, impale them on antlers to
Yep.
blow them up.
Hey, antlers.
Antlers?
Antlers impaler. There's
Right.
another
This
one.
is the second thing we
There we
reviewed
go.
where someone gets impaled on
Yeah.
antlers. Now that's going to be our thing now. We're just going to review everything where people get impaled on
With our
antlers.
visors on, the whole thing.
I love when he's going to hand over the key. He tells him to clean the seal because it's still sealed. I love the sponge that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah. It's the little things in this movie that are so good like that. I love that.
So yeah, Roach gives him the key. They put him in a case. And then, of course, Zane's like, oh, I lied. And Roach just gets mauled
Destroyed.
by the demons, just ripped apart. It's like, of course. Look, what are you guys doing?
The gore in this is really good, too.
Yeah. It's pretty gnarly. Now, if Zane was smart, he would just leave.
Yeah.
He's got it. He
That
won.
would've been it.
Go leave. Go back to Demon World.
Yeah.
Mix the other keys.
Yeah.
Get
Set
out
the
of there.
track to Demon Land and get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, instead he's like, I gotta go kill a bunch of people, and
Yeah.
he gets an arrow to the eye and just falls down. He's like, oh god.
I love how there's just like always a bow and arrow in these movies. Like, so cool.
I forget where they got the bow and arrow. Maybe it was one of Wally.
There's just like, no, it's just a pile of weapons. I mean, you just grab the same thing with the machete, right? When he beheads Wally, right?
Yes. Whatever room they were in just had a
Right.
bunch of hunting
Yeah.
stuff. They try to escape into the attic, and Irene knows what she has to do. And then the remaining sheriff becomes super noble.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna roll with you.
Yeah, they do the Vasquez and Carter scene, or
Yeah.
Carter, from Aliens, where they just blow themselves
Yeah.
up. Which, of course, that scene was also done very well in Carnosaur 2, where they just rip off that
Here
scene.
he goes. Well, and she's rocking like a straight wreath of grenades.
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess Wally's plan was to go postal
Yeah.
and then just blow up
himself
at the end. But that not before he mailed a letter to Cordelia saying he loved her. So yeah, they go boom. somehow, Danny reading a comic book possesses him.
Right, and this is when we see in the comic that we are living the movie
Yes.
through the comic.
The comic is of the movie that
Right.
because like we see everything that's about to happen. So we see Demon Danny, who looks like the Dr. Tongue from Day of the Dead.
Right.
He's like no bottom jaw, his tongue comes out. We see it in the comic, and then we see it on the screen. They throw him through a force field in the window, and he just explodes.
So we're killing kids.
Cool.
Fuck them.
Yeah, you're not going to survive this year,
Nope.
kid. You're not getting off that easy. So Breaker is just like, hey, look, you need the key. I'm giving you the key. Refill it with my blood.
Yep.
He's like, you are now the new Demon Knight. He's like, I got it from a guy, I think he says Dickerson, like the director, and he got it from the Ancient Thief. You're next. He's like, this is why I'm here, to get the new Demon Knight. That's what the stars were leading him to. And he tells her, like, hey, it's going to take you a lifetime, maybe several lifetimes, but you're going to have to pass this on to someone. It's just a reoccurring thing. Then Breaker dies, which shocked me the first time I saw him. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that was the hero of the movie.
I didn't think he was gonna die.
Yeah, no, I like that he does.
And especially fucking Jada Pickett. With Peace and Love, Jada Pickett is like fucking trash actress. Like she's just not very good.
She's okay in this, but
I suppose.
she's not great. She's not great. It's funny. I think I still have the Matrix figure of her. I should have put it.
Oh
on.
God, you should have put that out. Oh no, so bad.
So yeah, Zane comes into the attic looking for Geraldine. And she comes out covered in blood, and he's like, "Look at you! You're covered in blood."
Yeah.
It's not her blood.
blood.
She
Newsflash.
poured the Jesus blood on her, so he can't touch her.
Yep.
I love his little jump down the stairs that he does.
What does he say again? He's like, bitch. Or
Yeah, something like
shit. And he just does like this dive.
But I like how he gets around it. He surprises her when she's in the bathroom.
So smart.
He wraps her in the shower curtain and just
turns the
on the
water
water.
on.
Now, her clothes turned super white after that. I'm like,
I
no,
was thinking that too.
I'm like, no, she was covered in blood. There
Like,
was
how-
no bleach in there. Like, fuck you.
Plot twist. That shower curtain was covered in bleach,
Yeah.
wrapped her up, somehow washed her, and now we're back.
But while she's doing this, we see that she drinks the blood from
Yep.
the key.
Oh, yeah, because she stabs him in the eye.
Yeah.
And then he's not looking, and she just goes glug, glug, glug.
Yeah.
sips
And he
it
tells
down.
her, he's like, hey, the eye thing only works for lesser demons. And I like that he jokes, like, who makes up these rules?
Right.
He's
Yeah.
having so much fun with the role.
He's
You
crushing
can't
it.
not love him. He's so good.
Billy Zane deserved a fucking award for this performance.
Yes. Yes. He should have got the Oscar.
Should have.
He should have got it for the Phantom as well. He deserved it. He slammed evil, Tim.
Slam something.
And you know what? I've said it before. He's the hero of Titanic. He was the hero of Titanic.
Great head of hair in Titanic, too, somehow.
Wig.
Wig.
He's always had a wig.
Wig.
Yeah, it's just funny. He just got to be naturally bald in this.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking, I'm bald.
Yeah.
People don't know that. He's been bald for a very long time.
Yeah.
They always put a fabulous wig on him. So yeah, now he has everything he needs. But he has this new plan. He's like, we've never actually corrupted a demon knight before
Right.
and brought one over to our side. He's like, I want to do that with you. I want you to come over to our side.
Trying
He's
to
like,
seduce her.
my family will love you.
Yeah.
It was like a whole thing.
Bring you
He's
home
like
to mom and
dancing.
dad.
He's like dancing with
throwing
her.
her back and forth.
And the whole time she's not talking. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
know,
like, you're not talking much.
he knows that she's not. He doesn't know that she drank the blood. And I do love that he's just like, he tries to tell her that he loves her, but he can't say the word love. He's like, I love.
Then he's just like, you?
You. He's like, do you think you could ever find it in yourself to love me? And this is awesome. She just spits all the Jesus blood in his face.
Right into his face.
And he just melts, but not before turning into a giant winged demon.
Which was awesome.
Which looked really cool. It reminds me of the end of Hellraiser where the bum turns into a big winged demon. Or End of Days where the devil turns into a big winged demon. When I die, I hope I turn into a big winged demon. Like,
I'm like, you guys write that down. Tony, big winged demon.
But yeah, he dies. He explodes and destroys the hotel. But we see that she had like protection on her. So she was fine. I love this ending.
So do I.
She goes to board the bus to get out of town, but she puts a
drop.
shield.
Puts a drop on the end of the bus
Yeah.
there.
It gets to the next bus stop. There's a different collector who's about to get on and just goes, no.
I'll get the next one. Yes. And then there's the stare down, and he just starts walking and following the bus.
And what's he whistling?
The intro theme song to Tales from the Crypt.
What a great ending to that story.
So good.
But not the ending of the movie.
No.
Because we cut back to the Crypt Keeper. He
Yup.
like steals a rose from the graveyard and brings it
Yeah,
down.
they cut to
He's
the
got,
hand.
He's got two babes next to him. He's
Yup.
like, I gotta go to my big premiere.
Yeah. I do love how like they incorporated him perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, he goes to the premiere. Everyone's there. It's looking great. Everyone's happy except for the film's producers.
Right.
Like
Guillotine ready for him. And like he looks great in the tux, like,
Yeah.
the whole thing, like the infamous like tuxedo Crypt Keeper.
Yeah. And I love what he says. He's like, well, I did ask them for final cut.
So good.
Cut his head
Head
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the movie did okay financially.
Do we have numbers? I'm like curious.
My phone's all the way over there.
Let me see how it did, just because like I am curious. 'cause
Yeah, go to the wiki.
It
Look
was,
up.
It was the height of popularity for the series.
Look
right?
up. Go to the wiki page and look at release and let me know how it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I'm on IMDb. Hold on. 13 million. Grossed worldwide 21.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so-
it turned a little bit of a profit.
It turned a profit.
Nothing like crazy, but I guess they were decided. Okay, maybe it did really well on video.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, let's
Yeah,
do Bordello of Blood. And that one, I think, was a huge flop.
And the weird thing is that when I mean, if you like weird, slutty, erotic vampire stuff, which is hype right now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
watch Bordello of Blood. It's
Yeah.
not too bad. It's got a good cast. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. I can't remember if I liked it or not.
Okay.
I should definitely give it another. Now that I've watched this, I should give it another shot.
Should double feature.
But yeah, the Crypt Keepers shows up at the very end.
Yeah, we were talking about
And
this.
he's like, take a look out for my next movie.
Dead Easy, coming very soon to a theater near you.
Which didn't get made.
Which is interesting because apparently they took that out of the Laserdisc and the Blu-ray.
Really?
But they left it on the Amazon Prime streaming and the VHS and the DVD. So just the LD and the Blu-ray don't have that.
It reminds me of Bubba Hotep. Ends
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
Bubba Nosferatu. Like, look
which
for him,
never-
and then it never
never
happened.
happened,
I think
yeah.
they did a comic, but
I wonder how many movies have done that. Where
like so and so will return.
Yeah, and it just never happens. That's interesting.
Because there's been like cliffhangers, but that's like a different
That's
thing.
different. This is like legit.
This is like another movie
title.
is come. Oh, you know what one? It was kind of embarrassing. Devil, the one produced by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, the elevator movie?
Yeah, that was supposed to be like an anthology series.
Uh-huh.
And if I remember right, that movie starts with a glowing #1, basically saying like this is the first in the series.
Oh.
That was the
Was that
only-
movie terrible? I don't remember it too much.
I remember thinking it was like okay.
Yeah, I think it was okay.
It wasn't like great, but that was like when people were real tired of M. Night Shyamalan.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. He was.
I
kind of
remember
at the
it
end
went
of his
viral
rope.
when the commercial came out, the trailer, and his name was in the credits. Someone filmed their theater, and they all just started laughing.
Oh no!
This is like post Last
Lady in the
Airbender,
Water. It was after that. Lady in
right
the Water.
before. Speaking of the Smiths, the After Earth or whatever.
Man, people didn't like him then around that era,
Dude,
dude.
what was it? I think it's called After Earth, right, with Will Smith.
Dude, that movie sucked.
Dude, when I go back and check the other trailers, the trailers don't tell you who the director is. Because I think his reputation was like
way.
that
It was
on
in the
rock.
trash?
He's since rebounded. Not that his
Yeah.
movies are great, but like no,
They're better.
the problem was he like knocked it out of the park like 3 times in a
There was
row, even though Signs is pretty stupid.
I think Signs is good, but you're right. The only way to go was like down. It felt.
Yeah,
like,
and
you
the
know
fact
what I
that
mean?
he started off so strong, and I guess not counting his actual first movie, which was like a coming of age story.
Right.
People had so much expectations. Remember, there was like, is he the next Spielberg? And then like the wood or the village happens, and then it's just
Well, the Village was okay.
yeah, but compared to like the first, and that's the thing. It was people weren't-
After that, it was real bad.
the Lady
Real
in the
bad.
Water.
Dude, my dad worked on that movie. and,
Really?
like, let's just say he didn't work any on any movies after that. Maybe I think he worked on Transformers 2.
I mean, we all know where the Last Airbender failed by not getting me to be Jackson Rathbone's body double.
God.
I got paid for a day to try on his outfits, and they decided not to go with me.
Biggest L in movie history.
Everyone always says, like, I could tell that's not Jackson Rathbone. That body double sucks. And that was the fault of that film, Tim. That was
Bad.
the fault.
Terrible.
Terrible. I could have saved it.
You would
I
have
could've
saved it.
Maybe there's other problems with the movie. I don't know. I only saw it once. Actually, Last Airbender is the original, very first review Hack the Movies ever did.
For real? What? All right, give me a year stamp of that.
2010. That's when it
Okay.
came out. My friend worked at the theater at the time. Zach, who is now a YouTuber. I should plug
Shout out
him.
Zach.
So he would get us to see movies for free, and we would review them in the parking lot. That's how Hack the Movie started.
That's
and Last
cool.
Airbender was the very first one.
Wow, what a stinker.
Yeah. Anyway, Demon Knight. I love it.
Demon Knight rules.
It is great.
Please watch Demon Knight.
I wish they did more.
Dude, this movie is awesome.
I know it sucks that Bordello kind of flopped it. It would have been nice to have a series of
This-
Tales from the Crypt movie.
This is way better than Bordello, but
Yeah.
still, double feature both of them. I think there's a double DVD pack you can get. On, you know what I
I'm
mean?
sure it's a
Yeah.
terrible DVD.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
sure it's
It's the double sided where like you
Dude,
never know which one you're putting on.
I had to review Night at the Roxbury with Kaylee for her channel,
Yeah.
and I put my DVD in that says widescreen.
Yeah.
But it's the panning one. It's the one where it's
yeah,
widescreen,
yeah.
but on a 4:3. So if you watch it on a modern TV, you have a tiny box.
Yup, I hate that.
So annoying. But yeah, I love Demon Knight. I should really go back and watch a lot of the Tales. They're not streaming because of licensing issues.
Yup, there's a problem right now with the EC Comics and then the series.
Yeah.
There's like a big problem.
I could
with
probably
licensing.
find an old box set though.
You can for sure.
Yeah, I could probably
Yeah.
buy one of those. Yeah, because it's one of those things. I'm like, I wish I watched more of it. I've seen a bunch, but I'm like, I feel like I'm missing out.
There's
on
so
this.
many good ones. ones. So many.
Maybe
good
you
ones.
could tell me just like 10 good ones.
I'll
and
give you a
hunt
list.
those.
Yeah.
Give me the list.
I'll give you a list for
I'll
sure.
go through Tim's list of the good ones.
I'll send
Tales from
everybody the
Crypt.
list for sure. I mean, my whole company is based off of,
Of course, Tales from the Crypt. And
Yeah.
actually, now that we've talked about it, what have you got going on?
Yeah, so just want to shout out Tony and everybody watching. Thanks for welcoming me on the channel. I know I've been doing some episodes here and there, so I appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
I've been seeing people using their code, so that's great. You can use your
Oh, they
code.
actually do. Thank you.
Yeah, people use the code. Between you and Movie Dumpster, you guys have been using the code. Use Hack the Tony to get 15% off your order. And yeah, we are actually doing Demon Night in February.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
Yeah, that'll be great. This month we're doing some different stuff, some analog horror stuff, and we have our big show, Found Footage Festival on January 25th. Tony will not be there.
I couldn't get a table. I might stop by.
Okay.
I couldn't confirm. I couldn't commit to a table. Sorry.
So we're gonna have Tony there. He will make an appearance.
I will try to make an appearance and walk around. I will show
So,
my face. I'm sorry. It didn't work out.
Come out to that. And yeah, stay tuned for our Demon Night drop in February.
Yes. And I know you just did a Saving Silverman thing for
Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt.
So we got Saving Silverman's all coming in. We have a ton of stuff that's arriving. Ernest, Saving Silverman, Friday the 13th stuff will be coming in. All kinds of stuff that we had pre-order. But Saving Silverman, Tony.
Saving Silverman, which I have the tape of right there. I also have the director's cut. Tim, I love Saving Silverman, and I think that should be our Valentine's Day episode this year.
Tony, say no more. I love Saving Silverman. You're looking at two members of Diamonds in the Rough. We will be hitting the Come to Yeahs all day. It's
So
going to be awesome.
Come back Valentine's Day week. I mean, if you don't have a girlfriend or boyfriend, you can watch me and Tim talk about Saving Silverman.
The two single Pringles ready for Valentine's Day.
All right, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.